The following is the news of May 25, 2025. Video summary of Jonathan Tunley's interview on the case. Court blocked the immigration police. I'm talking about the case of an accused judge. Help illegal immigrants escape from the police. ICR migration. Guest in the video. A reputable legal expert. Give an analysis of the incident based on the video. The video shows the judge tried to interfering with police arrest operations, migration direction. They can't arrest immigrants in the hallways. Court. According to today's analysis, the trial, the judge ordered no arrest in the court hallway. And then helping the prisoner escape from court is the act. Violation of the law. Beyond the authority of a judge, that today, the judge is not exempt. Liability in their actions. Similar to a football player, cannot use link separation permission in outside the stadium, place out of court. It could be dangerous for immigration police and the people around. When that person runs out into the street, it even caused a traffic accident. Before, there's a debate about the possibility of judges being disciplined, suspended from practicing as a lawyer. They're even criminally divided. It depends on the severity of the behavior and the results of the investigation. Tuesday refers to the ability of judges to settle or be ruled, have favorable results for themselves due to the area where the court placed in a position with tendency, protection of rights for immigrants. Previously expressed 7 hopes about the practice of lawyers by regulatory agencies. Rarely handle seriously cases of serious violations by judges. Previously reiterated that there have been cases where judges have helped the prisoner escaped, but the investigation or handling, it's been delayed for years. Let's focus on legal analysis of Tunley. There was a serious violation by the judge in intervening on the arrest of illegal immigrants, and the consequences can happen, as well as inadequacies in dealing with this issue of the lawyers. Here is the news, the 25th of May, 2025. Howard Anti-Semitic Teaching by Alan the Let's focus on allegations at some top universities, especially Harvard, are harboring through the lectures and academic activities. Alan the a law professor in Hawaii, and other guests voiced criticism given that academic policy and the indifference of leaders for aggressive behavior are encouraging anti-Semitic violence. Murder at the Jewish Museum in Washington, D.C. I was let out as evidence, with allegations of lectures, academic perspectives at Harvard and other universities are fomenting anti-Semitic violence. Dostoevsky gave the example of the United States to accept Nazi students and teachers in the past to support the idea that the indifference to today is similar to the previous apathy. 6. Dyke emphasis. The connection between speeches to support anti-Semitic violence and acts of violence, facts, along with allegations of scholars. Left-wing, they're in league with Islamic extremists. Call on universities. Be responsible for your actions. Even cut the budget if necessary. As well as action. The government's determination to stop and violence. The Soviets expressed concern about the increased danger for those who support Israel, even if you have 2 higher security guards to keep you safe. To criticize the indifference of some politicians and media. In particular, some people don't speak up or not reacting strongly to sensitive issues. about anti-Semitism in universities. Call to action against and actions that are detrimental to safety, peace of the Jewish community. This is the May 25, 2025 newsletter. The threat. Trump's stance on Apple, explained. 6 style of analysis. About President Trump's tariff threats. The President of the United States for Apple and other smartphone companies, as well as for the European Union, EU. President Trump says Apple has been betrayed. There are no plans to manufacture the iPhone in the U.S. He thinks the U.S. can make good iPhones, no less than China or India, and threatened to impose tariffs on Apple, not moving production back to the U.S. Trump believes that he has a good relationship with Apple's code sales team, but feel betrayed when Apple. There are no plans to manufacture the iPhone in the U.S. He sees iPhone production in the U.S. It's good for the U.S. economy. Apple can face the high. If we don't bring production back to the U.S., Trump threatened a 50% tariff on its products. EU, without a better trade deal with the U.S. Trump says the EU is a protectionist group with complex physical and non-physical barriers hindering American goods. He wants the EU to adjust its trade policy to boost imports of American goods. EU can avoid tariffs or forced to set up a factory in the United States. Trump considers on-site production in the U.S. as an important factor in trade negotiations. Videos showing the views of former President Trump about threatening to beat the world for Apple and the EU. It's about moving the production supply chain. Made in the USA. Here is the news, the 25th of May, 2025. The students' parents protested the decision to investigate BA male students for reaction to transgender students. 6 dial up to date. The controversy surrounding the one transgender female students' use of the boys' locker room at school. Venice, USA. 3 male students under investigation for reacting to a transgender female students enter the male locker room. They're accused of sexual harassment. Although, from the parents' point of view, their actions, it's just a normal reaction to this. A transgender female student recorded her reaction of BA male students. Their feedback in the recording shows their discomfort. Policy of the case. School policy allowed students use the dressing room. According to self-identified gender, however, that a transgender female student entered the men's locker room. It's become a hotspot. Parents of male students still. They were outraged by the decision to investigate their children. They think the school's policy has been favorable. Love for transgender female students in an unreasonably illegal manner. School policy allow the students use of changing rooms based on gender. Self-recognition without consideration about biology has generated strong opposition in the community. This case isn't just controversial in schools, but also received the attention of the higher organs, including government departments, and controversial nationwide land. The school said it would not investigate students based on personal beliefs except in cases where violation of the anti-hate policy, threatening discriminatory language, or disruptive behavior. The focus is on arguments between families, students, schools, and government on the issue of transgender students using locker rooms. In the context of self-identified gender, the incident reflects it's a sensitive social issue that needs to be addressed in a fair and respectful manner. Still believe, May 2, 2025. Prisoner exchange, Irina hopes for peace. Video update on the annual prisoner return event. Prisoner and discuss the peaceful transition between Ukraine and Russia. President Ukraine and announced the annual return. Hundreds of prisoners in an exchange with Russia. This is considered a case. The biggest exchange so far. Experts discuss the possibility of this event, paving the way for a potential ceasefire. However, they also stress the need to maintain reality. By the peace talks, it's often complicated, stretched and nonlinear end. Expert. Self. Let's take the example of the First World War. To highlight the importance of in any peace negotiations, in fact, and emphasize character, difficulty in achieving peace. In the war, peace talks are usually it's a painful process, prolonged and challenging, and frequently interrupted. War. It only ends when one or both sides are exhausted. He noted that many previous diplomatic efforts did not achieve immediate results. There is loss. It's about the role of President Trump in the promotion of peace. But I also want to emphasize that this process may not work as quickly as expected. Beyond political issues, the video has parts related to other topics such as honoring the sacrifices of American soldiers in the war and the meaning of Memorial Day on April 30th. The parts are talk about the sacrifice of heroes in the United States Army, through his words, the old warriors and people who have served on the battlefield. The video provides a view and overview about prisoner exchange, but also said, warning about the importance of to exercise patience, and actually in peace negotiations. The video also shows respect and distrust of the heroes who died in the wars of the. Yes, the following is the news of May 2nd, 2025. The investigation about declining health and the activities of President Biden. 6. Discussion box about the Republican investigation of Team 5. Close to the instrument, President Biden accused them of concealing his declining health. The Republican Party is launching investigations into by President Biden have been hiding the decline of his health with the American people or not. House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comey said the summons can be taken out within a week, especially if the advisors rejected the question of the answers of the questions. The committee proposed to convene the 4 main employees of the White House. They are considered influential people. Great for President Putin. He may have acted as a longtime president of the United States. The list of these people mentioned includes Anthony Brennan, Atlay Tommy Simi, Anito Tommy Simi Atlay William, Kevin O'Connell, and recently another. In addition to 4 investigation officers, learn the role of Biden and Dr. Zinn. He also mentioned some points of view that Hutton Biden spent more time. President Biden in the Oval Office. 6DO criticized the Republican Party for being too gentle when sending a request letter instead of acting as quickly as the Democrats. This issue is considered important when there's a lot of information that shows signs of cover or hide this incident. High-ranking officials and lawmakers. Cabinet member and Senator Matt Winter expressed concern about the president's ability to operate and outside influence. The specific issues mentioned include the problems, decisions related to immigration, and the withdrawal of troops from Afghanistan, in which there is consultation of advisors and uncertainty. Decision when there are many objections. Emphasize the need to find accountability. For those who it is believed to be related to the above. 6 dies given that the cover of advisors. Lack of determination. President Biden's incompetence. And there's a lot of unexplained problems. In addition to sources from the investigation, video based on information from a newly published book. However, the video also mentioned to the question of whether these books, is it a reliable source or not? Or they can be seduced or not. Sum up the number of points about an investigation going on around the decline of President Biden's health and the roles of those around them in running the country. 6 Dyke emphasis the importance of finding responsibility and shed light on the problems. It happened during his time in office.